Purdy's our number one.
Yeah.
He's a little banged up now, but he's our number one. So
that's a big deal, though. He's banged up. I'm with you.
Right. So there's a chance that their best quarterback goes into the year hurt. Oh, for the first 5 games.
Then you really must be. I'm giving you your sneakers here, some new ones, Steiny. This would be one of your biggest victory laps.
Why?
Because if you're right and they know that Trey's not it and the world kind of doesn't or hasn't seen it, like 6 to 7 starts from Trey Lance, then they really got it wrong. But I don't think your scenario is going to play out because I believe behind closed doors they want Trey to be the starter.
All right. I think 2 things can be equally true.
Barbieri.
Maybe Trey Lance does become a star. I don't think it's going to be this year.
No, you could be totally right.
Well, that's all. I'm just looking at this year.
But could they win 8 games? Could they win 10? Like Brock Purdy, he managed, and he was damn good.
Would that be okay for Niner fans? I think Niner fans.
I can't answer that.
I think
Niner fans are ready to break. They're ready to, like, going to the NFC Championship game. That's getting old. I believe for Niner fans, it's like going to
win a Super Bowl.
No doubt.
Right. So Trey Lance comes in here in year 1 and wins 8 or 10 games. Let's say he got 10-7. They lose the first playoff game he plays. I mean, the windows don't stay open very long in the NFL.
And we're watching one right now with the Niners. And for whatever reason, Steiny, on this Tuesday, I feel like it's open with any quarterback you mentioned of the 3.
Last year, when they said they were going with Trey Lance, I said,
that's the wrong decision.
No, I'm not saying it's a wrong decision. I'm just saying, don't tell me that you can develop a quarterback with no experience.
Yeah.
None. Didn't play at a major conference. He's James Wiseman
but they tried
and Jonathan Kuminga.
They tried it. Game and a half.
Mm-hmm. Right. They did. And he got hurt. So you know what? Now, as far as I'm concerned, we have the same quarterback coming back with no experience.
Yeah.
Sure, he's a year older, but he's got no experience. I do not think a quarterback with no experience. I'm not betting on a quarterback with 4 games of experience for his team to win the Super Bowl. I'm not betting on a team whose other quarterback has 8 total games of experience to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to go in a different direction.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Hurts in the NFC, and I'm going to go with a host of other quarterbacks in the AFC.
I get how you end up on that, but I've seen so much to where I'm just like, man, the guy, and I told you, and it's funny you brought it up, behind closed doors, is there some mechanism of Kyle Shanahan's personality to where he likes getting more with lesser because he gets some of the credit? But if I'm wrong and that's not the case, I just can't tell you, Steiny, Jimmy Garoppolo, now he missed a pass in the Super Bowl to Emmanuel Sanders. I watched that game a million times. That wasn't why they lost the Super Bowl. And last year, when it comes to Brock Purdy, because I'm going at it with one of our guys on YouTube, Funky Freestyler, telling me I got it wrong about Brock Purdy. Steiny, I don't think he has the strongest arm, but his IQ level is above average, and that allowed him to get rid of the ball, scramble, do all the skittle-scattle we talked about, and look downfield. Things Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't, I don't think, particularly good at, and that's why Brock Purdy went undefeated. But if he's off, he's not even an option till week 8. I'm just keep pushing it out there. Good Lord, Steiny, I just hope Darnold can't beat Trey Lance, because then you will be right, and so will the naysayers. Trey wasn't a guy. He was a bust.
I'm not saying he's a bust, so I wouldn't be right if he is a bust. I am not saying I think Trey Lance is a bust. I'm saying I don't think any quarterback who comes into the league with 4 pro games under his belt is likely to take a team to the Super Bowl. That this particular year, right here, right now. I'm not saying Trey Lance is going to be a bust. I don't have a lot of confidence in Trey Lance guiding a team to the Super Bowl this early in his career. Ditto for Brock Purdy.
But I feel like we're going, Niner fans, put your seatbelts on, because that's where it's going. That's where it's headed, Steiny.
Drew don't care. What are we missing? What are we missing here, Drew don't care? What are we missing?
That's who it was. I said funky freestyler. That's the one about Purdy. I
don't. I mean, if people think the 49ers can win the Super Bowl, they might. They could.
But what they're saying and what you don't agree with is they can win the Super Bowl with any of the three quarterbacks.
I don't think so. I just don't. That's all.
Yeah, that Brock Purdy one shocked me, man.
Tell me what we're missing, Drew don't care. Bob's in San Francisco. What's up, Bob? How you doing?
Hey, guys. First off, I want to say that Summit was really fun to listen to.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
And then, sorry I wasn't there. It would have been a blast. Okay, so I think using the logic that Guru uses, saying that Shanahan can get a quarterback to play in his system, and then maybe even get to the Super Bowl. Well, okay, using that logic, we didn't need to draft Trey Lance. We should have spent those picks. How many number ones on defense and linemen and defensive backs? That would have solidified the team even more, right? Using that logic.
Okay.
Then I think on the other side, on Steiny's side, I think that Purdy actually passed the eye test. He has those intangibles.
I agree.
He does the little things. I think we do have our quarterback.
Okay.
Right there. And it's great to have Trey Lance as a backup, no doubt, because he has athleticism. He's still raw, and he can be taught how to play quarterback in the NFL. So I think the upside is really good. But I still feel we probably shouldn't have used that pick, all those picks, just for him. We should have actually increased the roster and solidified our team more that way. So anyway, that's my opinion.
Real good stuff. Real good stuff. And I'm going to Bob, I'm sorry, I agree with you. Purdy in 8 games passed the eye test. There's no doubt in 8 games he passed the eye test. However,
and the 2 playoff.
When I look at Purdy, and this is where I still think where he was drafted matters. That means a lot of people looked at Brock Purdy and thought, he's okay, but he's not great. So I don't know, like the thing that scares me, because he was a 7th-round pick, not that he can't overcome all the odds and all that stuff, of course he can, but I wonder how much more of an upside he has.
I get it.
And
we haven't seen defensive coordinators make an adjustment to him. And as much as I watched that Dallas Niner game, to watch him against an elite defense, they kind of kept him in check. But I wasn't blaming Brock Purdy, but it was some things I believe Dan Quinn and company were able to kind of, okay, we'll make him roll this way. We'll do this. He likes to do this or that. So we'll see if he can continue. And when he's healthy, and this is what I hate for the young man, Steiny.
Which one?
Wasn't Purdy. It wasn't just about you were rolling, but now it's about, can your elbow even be what it was? And can you be what you were? So he's got that to where Trey Lance, by all account, and Sam Darnold are in pretty good health.
Who's the best quarterback on the roster?
Sam Darnold. I can say that. Now, you didn't say who's had much more success. Sam Darnold was the dog coming out of USC. It hasn't panned out, but you are a product of your environment. So I know he was saying he saw ghosts, but you were in football heaven. You were in quarterback heaven now. So I think Kyle Shanahan, if he can do that with Jimmy Garoppolo, do what, Goo? Win. Have Brock Mr. Irrelevant in the NFC Championship game. Sam Darnold's a walk in the park. Because Sam, on a good day, with good stuff around him, has some talent. Like, I can never take that from Sam Darnold, Steiny.
What, that he's got talent?
Yeah. Now, I can tell Guru, look at his stats. No, you got that all day. And I'm wondering, just what you said, are those the type of guys that Kyle's attracted to so he can get some of the Nelly stuff? I'm going Equifax, but get some of the credit.
Scott's in Marin. What's up, Scott? How you doing?
Hey, man. I got to say, Matt, your view of Brock Purdy tells me all I need to know about your knowledge of how the QB position is played. Because There's absolutely no way you could have watched him play that many games and see the complete how much better and heads above he is than Jimmy Garoppolo. He attempts throws Jimmy never would attempt. He processes way quicker. He has a pocket presence where he can move around in the pocket. He's got quickness. I mean, you just go. I suggest you go and check out online on like.
Let me ask you this:
watch some experts that know what they're talking about.
Well, you know what's funny? You know what's funny is experts watched him play 4 years in college, and all those experts didn't draft him in 6 rounds.
So I never saw him play either until I saw him in the preseason in San Francisco, and as soon as I saw him, I knew immediately that this guy had something.
Well, what happened? Why didn't the scouts see that when he played 60 games in college?
Go back and look at the way he played last year.
That's
who
fine.
cares what he did in college?
My point is,
you don't know what you're looking at. You don't know what you're looking at, though. It isn't a matter of what defenses are going to be able to do to him next year or whatever. He can play.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that 32 teams waited till the 7th round to pick Brock Purdy.
Well, how many rounds did they wait?
Okay, well, you know what? Say this, Scott. Scott, just give me this. If you're going to say, Steiny, you don't know what you're talking about, please say, hey, Steiny, you know what, though? 31 other teams don't know what they're talking about either.
No, you're wrong. Because I'm making my assessment after what I've seen in a professional football uniform on the field.
That's great.
Because I never saw him play. I never watched him play at Iowa State. So, I mean, I may have seen him fleetingly, but you can see the way he processes it. He plays the position better than anybody since Steve Young. There's no doubt in my mind that he will be the QB going forward. If he's healthy, there's no way he's not going to be the starting quarterback for the foreseeable future. And Kyle has his guy, period.
All right. I'm not putting as much stock in 8 games as you. And, like, I usually don't think about, he's a 7th round. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I get that what was his name? Shoot. The gentleman. Scott said, well, I didn't see him at Iowa State. Well, every NFL team saw him at Iowa State. Like, a lot.
You just think he's going to max out?
I don't know how good Purdy and or Lance are. I don't like the idea of Super Bowl expectations with 2 quarterbacks who don't have much experience at all. And yes, I think that Purdy was terrific. He was fine. He did everything he could ask in those 8 regular season games and in the postseason. But I do need to see more.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
That's all. I mean,
I guess you guys were talking about 2 different things.
The league is littered with quarterbacks who start out pretty well and then they come down to earth a little bit. No doubt.
It will humble you. And that's why I just think this is horrible timing. The injury itself, I keep going here. I'm no doctor, Steiny, with the elbow. I just feel this is a big deal. And I can't wait to have our girl on, Tracy, because you are right. At different junctures, John Lynch did say he's our quarterback.
Right.
But what if he can't go to week 9?
What do you mean?
One of these dudes, what are you going to be 4-5 when he comes back? I don't know. And I mean what I'm about to tell you. Yep. If I know Trey Lance or I'm in his life, dude, this is it for you right here. You may never get, because it looked like you were done. Right. If Brock now got hurt and they lose or win, this thing's a wrap. Now, Trey Lance, if I can shake you, son, you need to play your best football, because if you don't light it on fire, Darnold may be taking over before Brock gets back, but you got an opportunity of a lifetime. You got a 9th life with this injury.
Last thing I want to be clear on. This, it has nothing to do with Purdy even. It has nothing to do it has to do with history. Yep. Thank you, Goo.
No.
And you know what?
I get it.
Here's the other thing. you know what? Brock Purdy may, let's say, comes in, let's say healthy.
Yeah.
Week 1, he starts. 49ers go 13-4, and it's like he looks exactly like he looked last year.
Oh, watch out.
Everything's clicking, and they go into the playoffs, and they win it all. Okay, you know what that means? I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong, but you know what it also means? I need to see a quarterback that he may be the most inexperienced quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl.